Welcome back to the Roadside Rescue YouTube channel. Here's another episode of Fixing It Forward. By the time anybody on the normal channel sees this, it's going to be a couple months old. And that's because these videos are supported by channel members. So shout out to all the channel members. Here we have everybody. See your name there. If not, maybe you've joined after, or it's been about a week and there's a couple people we haven't put up yet. But you'll be there soon. The channel members support the channel by subscribing on a monthly basis. If you're not a channel member, nothing changes, but if you are, then you get special access to different things, which you know, you get behind the scenes looks, extra videos, and specifically these videos Fixing It Forward, where that money that the channel members support the channel with, we take, and a couple of times a month we help somebody out who's in need of some help. So all the college kids are moving back into town. This is a college town here in Utah, and one young fellow reached out to us and had his radiator hose blow on him this morning. So we're gonna go help this guy out and not charge him any labor. I think he might be able to cover all the parts. So we've got a new hose, a new thermostat, just in case we're gonna be down there. So we'll replace the thermostat and a new gasket and some coolant. So we'll go over there. It should be pretty quick. Thanks again to the channel members who support these videos. And we'll head over there and get this hose replaced for him. All right, roadside rescue crew, here we are with the car. It's got a busted radiator hose here. We may try and do that thermostat as well. In fact, we probably will, just to be thorough. So it's been messed with recently. You can tell I always kind of talk about these witness marks, but you can see where this hose clamp was turned. Not a big deal, but that can cause leaking and stuff. So obviously on a new hose it doesn't matter, but just pay attention to stuff like that if you put stuff back together. That's the hose. The thermostat is back here, so we'll pull that out and get it replaced as well. It shouldn't be too difficult. Anyways, yeah, so a bunch of steam was coming out when the guy stopped, and that's how he noticed. Okay, so typically you just want to be careful with like the old plastic around here. Don't pry on it. So this one was nice and loose, but just twist it. Maybe grab it super gently with pliers and wiggle it around until it comes loose if it doesn't want to give. But that came off pretty easy, so we'll go ahead and get these hose clamps installed on the new one and get it back in place. Okay. I find it typically easiest to just kind of put both on at the same time. That hose clamp on first. Yeah. There's that. Sometimes I'll put WD-40 on first. Probably should have done it in this case in case you have to turn it. It's already a little tight, but we'll see. Okay, and if I ever reinstall something like this, I always make sure that it's easier to get for the next person. So like a lot of times from the factory, the clips will be done under here under the bottom. I always think about the next guy. Maybe it's this kid on the side of the road next time his hose breaks down or busts or something, and he's got to get it with just a pair of cheap pliers. I always try and make it easy for the next guy. All right, yeah, so I guess just pay attention too. I was just kind of talking a little bit, and I didn't even realize I was putting the hose on backwards. That's what you want to be careful with. Don't break that plastic. Anyways, I was putting the hose on backwards. This end should go up front. So since I'm here, I'm just going to put a little bit of just some lubricant on it, just to make it easy. Okay, we'll get these hose clamps back on, and just a little bit of lubricant makes it so much easier, so it's worth it just to take your time, do things in the right procedure. But we'll do this, then we'll do that thermostat, and pretty much be done here. Okay, I really like those Knipex pliers, but I'm learning that they're not the best for everything. They're kind of like precision pliers. They really wouldn't open up wide enough to get that hose clamp and pinch it all the way down, whereas these pliers have this big groove in the front and it grabs those hose clamps just super nice. So I've always used these in the past and liked them, but I'm gonna stick with these for these hose clamps. Okay, same thing applies. I'm just gonna leave that clamp up top, easy to get to. Make sure it's past the bead there. That as well. Before we fill it up with coolant, we will put that thermostat in. All right, so we'll go ahead and do that thermostat. Like I said, it's over here on this side. I've got the new thermostat here and a gasket for it. There was two options. We just went with the OEM 180 degree thermostat, not 170 degrees. So I don't know why they have a difference. If you know that down below, leave it in the comments, please. Why they opted out later to have an alternate 170 degree thermostat if there was some sort of issues with 180 or whatever. But we went with OEM since I wasn't sure. That's nuts. That was a bolt. And just in case there's coolant left in, I'm going to go ahead now and put a drain pan underneath there. And I've got a clean coolant drain pan that I use, but I'm not going to reuse the coolant. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to do a few connectors. So that I can loosen the wires that run on that back side of the thermostat housing, which is right there. And I'm trying to decide if it's easier to just start pulling stuff up here, but I think I can reach it with my hand, so I'm not too worried yet. Get on there, boy. Okay, just do a little reach through, make sure that nut stays in the socket there. This. Push that out of the way. Or something. That there's got to be another nut back there somewhere. I cannot reach all these hoses. Yep, there's another one back there. All right, so we got the thermostat down here. We've got a couple bolts off of it now. I think there's 3, and then we'll get that thermostat out of there and replaced. Kind of a tricky one to get to, and there's another bolt right here. We got to get off this bracket that holds the hose. All right, so here we go. We've got it coming out. Make sure we've still got some gasket left there. Looks like this gasket may be toasted. I don't know if I have one that big. No, there's still some gasket there. What's this then? Okay, here's the thermostat housing right here. We'll pull it out. And we don't have to remove it all the way. I mean, we can. There's that. And there's our little thermostat in here. There was no coolant in here, but here's our old thermostat. These gaskets are pretty much trashed. This is probably why it overheated. It may have actually leaked out all the coolant, because this is the second gasket that we found that's trashed. And here's the first one that was around the hose. So we'll get all this new stuff in, and then anyway, so we'll get our new gaskets in with our thermostats. It's a good thing we got both. All right, here we are. Remember, the spring always goes towards the engine, which is the warm part. Those springs are what open up. Make sure that gasket's not pinched, and we'll go ahead and slide this back in place. Just being gentle, no need to force anything here. Just getting this last nut on there in the back. We've got the other two on thanks to our bag of random bolts and nuts, because I dropped this one. This one's nice and greasy and old on the outside, so it's holding onto the socket nice. So we'll just get it back there and get it tightened down, and we'll be done. Well, we got to fill it up with coolant too, but bingo. Start it by hand. Okay. All right, so we'll get our 3 connectors plugged back in right here. We disconnected. That's our camshaft sensor here. Bingo. That's it. All right, thanks again to the channel members who made this video possible. This is a fixing it forward, a job well done. We've got everything back, and this car should get back on the road for a good bit more. Consider becoming a channel member. Check out the perks down below. Again, if you don't, nothing will change. Consider subscribing to support the channel as well, watching the videos, giving it a thumbs up or comment, whatever. Everything helps. I appreciate everything that everybody does for the channel. There's a job well done. We'll catch you on the next episode.